Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Haefner. Welcome to Sport Psych in a Minute, your weekly resource for insights and tips into the psychological side of equestrian sport. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about this idea of seeing horses and their riders as a complex system, and we've been exploring the idea that the flow, open flow of energy and information between different parts of a system leads to good functioning and wellness. Last week, I left you with a practical tip about how to use focused attention to connect ourselves to different parts of our experience that we may be cut off from. And we used the example of using focused attention to connect our conscious experience to something, for example, that's important in riding, like body awareness. This week, what I'd like to talk about is the idea about slowing things down so that we can speed them up. I know for myself, I have been either participating in or watching people learn to ride in some way, shape, or form for the past 40 plus years. One of the things that I've noticed is that so much of what instructors or clinicians try to do is to coach people and teach people at speed. And the fact of the matter is that when we're doing things with horses, whether it's groundwork or riding work or more complicated things like upper level maneuvers or jumping, that so much is going on very, very quick, very, very short space of time. And if we are very accomplished at what we're doing, if for the most part we're really well integrated, we have the skills and understanding that we need, and we have experience, if someone is coaching us on one little piece of that at speed while we're jumping a line, while we're doing a course, we may be able to take that information in and make use of it. But so often, there's so much energy that's going into trying to just coordinate all these different pieces of information and all this information and coordination of skills that we haven't yet mastered yet, that actually engaging in the process of riding or doing a maneuver at speed is so overwhelming to our system that we can't make use of feedback or information. And a lot of times what ends up happening is that we have this repeated process of making the mistake over and over again. Now, other people outside of us watching us can say, oh, I see what they need to do. But the person who's most important in the learning process, ourselves, are often lost. So this leads me to my practical tip for this week about how to, in fact, accelerate our learning, or as I say, how we can slow things down to speed things up. The idea here is simple, that if we have something that we need to learn, that we learn it out of the context of the stream of actually doing it first. So we first learn it outside of that stream. So as an instructor or trainer, I want to take my client and I want to do what I can to help them understand what it is that I want them to do, what it is that I want them to learn, and have that broken down into pieces. And pick one or two pieces of it and work on it first. Now, the other cool thing about being a human being is that we have imaginations. And if you've ever heard me talk about visualization before, you would know that when we imagine ourselves doing something, that all of the musculoskeletal and other innervations in our system are activated just as if we were doing it when we imagine ourselves doing something. So once we have the little pieces, once we've been able to use our focused attention to kind of know where our body needs to be, where we need to be looking, what we're feeling for in our horses, how we're doing those things in a particular maneuver, we then can take that and start putting it together in our imaginations at speed. Once we're able to do that and have a sense of seeing ourselves, quote unquote, seeing ourselves or experiencing ourselves doing it, then we can go and start putting it together in real life. Always taking the time to make sure that it's coming together, that our understanding is coming together, and as we master the one thing, then we can move on and do more. The idea is that our learning process can be initially slowed down so that we make sure that we get all the pieces and that we put those things together systematically, and then as they're put together systematically, we can put them together with other thoughts, ideas, skills, and experiences, and then be more effective and efficient in doing things, as we say, at speed. This has been Sport Psych in a Minute. If you've enjoyed this video, found something that's useful, please feel free to share it with your friends. If you have questions and comments, write them below. As always, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on YouTube, and on our website at ridingfar.com. I'm Dr. Paul Haefner. I'll see you next week.